Saunders back with another one. Shouts out to the LDBC. So we all know December 16th it goes down between Billy Joe Saunders and David Lemieux for the WBO middleweight strap, live on HBO. And this is a good fight, a fight that I've been looking forward to. Billy Joe Saunders has been champion for, I want to say he got that strap back in 2015 versus Andy Lee. And we haven't really seen the guy tested. He fought the best competition he's fought since getting the strap would definitely have to be Willie Monroe Jr. I thought Willie Monroe had a shot in that fight, but he dropped the ball in my opinion. Okay. But this fight is going to be really, really interesting. And it's a fight that I'm picking David Lemieux, but at the same time, it's a fight of circumstances. In my opinion, if David Lemieux is going to be successful in this fight, he has to knock Billy Joe out in the first 5-6 rounds. But if Billy Joe is somehow able to box his way out of those first 5-6 rounds, I believe he could dominate and win the fight, because with David Lemieux, all the weight the guy's cutting, that's going to affect his stamina, and he's not going to have any steam on his punches, in my opinion, after those first 5-6 rounds. And I believe Billy Joe could dominate in those rounds, since Billy Joe's not cutting as much weight as Lemieux, man. Lemieux is a big guy. And let's get into these weigh-ins, man. At the weigh-ins, man, Lemieux, the guy, you know, he looked dry, man. The guy just looked like he had drained everything out of his body, and he just looked drained, man. His face is all sunken in. You know, you could just tell, man, he gave all he had cutting this weight. And but it's kind of funny, man. You could tell, like a lot of people say, once you start getting and cutting massive amounts of weight, you start cutting down muscle. And I guess that's evident, because when you look at Lemieux, he just looks like he's just there, like no definition for real or nothing. And that's crazy when you cut that much weight and you're not lean at all for real. You know, so I think that's gonna play a factor in his stamina, and he's gonna have to get Billy Joe out of there pretty quick. But Billy Joe, you know, and his trainer, they're sitting there yelling at him, like, you know, weigh in again after he strips down and stuff. You know, that would be something that you could say maybe if you were 1 or 2 pounds under the limit, but you step on the scale and you're right at 160 as well, and you had to strip down bare. So you know, that's my thoughts on that. And I don't understand how, you know, you got a digital scale, how are y'all able to both weigh in at the same at 160 exactly? You know, you would think it'd be like a, you know, it would be tenths or something like that. You know, but y'all weighing it both at 160 exactly, so it must be some kind of threshold, because they had to been like 160.3, 0.4 or something like that. You couldn't both just weigh in right at 160. You know, but as far as my thoughts on the fight, you know, I'm picking Lemieux for knockout somewhere between the first and 5th round, but Billy Joe has a shot to outbox him. You know, he's a slick southpaw. Kind of fights like a black fighter in a sense, the way he's defensively aware and his movement. But you know, the brawler in David Lemieux with his power, you know, Billy Joe's gonna get touched, you know, and I don't know how much of a chin Billy Joe has. He has fought a puncher in Andy Lee. He fought Chris Eubank Jr., which I don't really rate him as a huge puncher. He has been getting more knockouts at the higher weight, 168. So maybe he was killing himself to get to 160. But we don't know, man. It's a lot of ifs when it comes to Billy Joe. We just haven't seen him in those certain situations. We want to see a fighter that's on the elite level. You know, we haven't seen him tested. But you know, I want to get into the undercard, especially with Cletus Selden. He just fought November 11th on the Danny Jacobs card, and this guy's already coming back and fighting on this card, and it's December 16th, so it's a little over a month layoff. You know, so that's what you want to see with your fighters. You know, I know you had the situation with Demetrius Andrade saying that 7 weeks wasn't enough to prepare for a fight against, I forgot what the guy, Dimachenko or something, but you know, we don't know all the facts, but I would have liked to see him go ahead and get up in there on this card. You know, Cletus Selden just showed you, you know, he can do a quick turnaround. Now, yeah, his last fight, I believe, was like a knockout in the 3rd round, and Andre went 12 rounds. So, you know, you could compare him in that sense and maybe think that Andre needs a longer layoff because he went 12 rounds and Seldon only went 3. But, you know, they both got touched. So, you know, it is what it is, man. But that's my thoughts on the fight. I'm picking David Lemieux for knockout somewhere between 3 and 5. You know, I think it'll go at least that long. I could be wrong. Billy Joe could make it through those rounds and dominate it to a decision. But we don't know, man. But anyway, this is Since 93 Sports. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. And hit that bell icon to be notified when all my latest content drops. And I'm out.